Good morning. This is Calvin with Mini Pots. I hope you are doing great. The This is just a week in review for my hobby update, and I have a little bit more to report than I did uh, last week. Or I hope I do anyway. If I don't, it will be what it'll be. I got some work on these guys, and you can see these have a metal base, and I covered it with the crackle medium. I've been told I need to varnish them to hold it in place, and then I will be doing some simple paints on it and maybe adding a couple pieces of scenery. I have some bones and from the army painter animal bits that I will be adding to them. Then I will be doing some highlights on the miniatures. So before I did the basing, I did a paint of Parasite. Oh, I forget what it's called. The Parasite Brown by Vallejo. I've had this bottle. I don't use it that frequently. Um, and I know that's the old label, so I don't know if the chemical has changed at all. We had some family stuff going on, so I was not able to do as much as I would like, but I still squeezed in some. I have a couple other projects. I did a basing of this. Most of my miniatures I like a forest type basing, so this will be um, I'll coat it again with a glue, water, and a little bit of dish soap mixture. And then I'll start highlighting and do some dry brushing, get his teeth a little bit more defined. So I'm happy with that. Got in some new things. I got in the Dauntless brushes. I bought 2 sets of them. It never fails whenever you have one and you need another one or something like that. And having 3 kids, they tend to sometimes get into things. The I know this is not helping my case, but with so many things going on, this is the old Baumwick Monument Hobbies brush. I've had these for 2.5 years, 2 years. Use this brush for acrylics, have another brush I use for oils, and have one unused brush that I was saving up that I will probably start using as well. As I said, I got these 2 bottles. When we were visiting a different city, I went by a hobby store. They had it's a great store in Lubbock, Texas, Storm Crow Games, not to be confused with Storm Crow Miniatures. I did that and I found out they're not the same thing. They had a nice selection of Citadel miniatures, a great selection of the Army Painter line, the new line, and I replaced the Black Templar that I had spilled last week. The and I picked up a couple AK colors or AAK color, but we'll see. Haven't used the too much of the Fanatic line. I think these 2 are, yeah, these 2 are in the same. Um, this is the using for leather stuff I was thinking, and some just general browns. They had a nice warm brown, which I did pick up, but I'm thinking I might get that. The other thing I picked up was I found a store that had this primer. I've used it for about a month and a half, and I've been really happy with it. just have to remember when you spray with primer, you keep everything moving. And if it doesn't stay moving, it can gump up your stuff, your mini. And you're able, this is liquid enough where it originally comes out that you're able to absorb it with a brush if you need to. I did receive a small book. I want to back out a little bit. Isn't that artwork great? This is childhood. This is by Will Rahman, who did the Forbidden Psalm series. This is a new series. I'm going to do a flip through of this. I think it merits the time.
When should I schedule it for?
Sorry about that. That was another device that was located that started asking me a question, which confused me and sort of freaked me out in a way. I don't have it happen often, but it did. I might have a small visitor in a second. No. He also sent some goodies. I'll do that in a separate review. In my review of these, initial mention of these, I mentioned or showed that they can pop. I did that one a little bit earlier, so it's not quite fair, but this one I did right now, and you can see how easily it comes out. And you can use those pop-it things that you get for your kids, or maybe someone's gotten for your kids and you didn't know what to do with, and other than trip over them. And if you do the hobby stuff, this is great. They make nice little domes also if you needed to mold something, which I've done that before. But they clean up. I'll run this under some water and it'll clean up fine. And that's the reason I like these, so you don't end up with your wet palette looking like a bunch of collected goop. Like, not, I say wet palette, so that your painting wells don't end up looking like this, which sort of reminds me of an old paint well that my mom may have had. That is really where it's at. We still have family visiting. Another family member is recovering from surgery. She is getting better. The goals for the next week: finish up the base of these guys, play a game or two, and I don't know if I'll use these guys yet, but they're available. I'll get them varnished once I get everyone with that base on it, and maybe get some of the minis for my not trench crusade, the last war. I have a British guy here and one of the loyal here. The loyal are sort of neat because in the first couple scenarios they are your predominant opponent. That's where I'm at. I hope to be getting in a piece of scenery. There might be some other things I need to order, but with summer and other expenses coming up, I may just hold off, but we will see what happens. Remember to like and subscribe. I do have a coffee if you follow me on Instagram. It's Mini Pots on Instagram. That's listed there. I haven't been able to figure out how to get everything associated with me on my YouTube profile. Once I do that, I'm sure it'll also be there. Thank you very much. Have a great one. Again, if you have any suggestions, likes, or comments, please leave them below. I will get to them, and about 3 times a week I check the comments to see where things are at. And thank you very much. Have a great day and a rest of your week.